Mrs. Little says Mr. Harris's lies, anger, and disappearing acts have her ready to walk out that door. Can he stop her? Today on Divorce Court. All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Little versus Harris.
Thank you very much. Ms. Little, Mr. Harris.
How you doing?
I'm glad to have you here in divorce court, and thank you for trusting me with your relationship. I understand you all have been together for 18 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
ma'am.
You did, in fact, have a spiritual wedding in 2012. Although you are not legally married, you consider yourself a couple. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have 3 children together, ages 10, 12, and 17. Plus, Miss Little, you actually have another child.
Yes, Your Honor.
So this is a family that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And there's
Yes,
some
Your
real
Honor.
stakes in the ground. Let's find out why we're in divorce court, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'm here because Antonio is a liar, he's disrespectful, and he has anger issues. And he's proven time after time that he's not going to change, and I'm just over it. I want a divorce.
At 18 years in, you are ready to be done if there's not going to be a major change. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm going to turn to Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, what do you say in response to what your wife has said?
I want to save my relationship. We've been together for 18 years. I don't want to see 18 years go down the drain, and I definitely don't want my children raised in a broken home.
So then that means we need to be solution-oriented to see if there's something still here. Why don't you take me back, Miss Little? You met a while ago. You figured it out for all these years. What got us to divorce court, ma'am?
Your Honor, I met Antonio when I was a teenager working in a restaurant, and what I loved about him was, you know, his smile. He has great energy. He has, he's very family-oriented. I love the way he took to my oldest daughter. But what changed was when I noticed his anger issues. And
What do you mean when you say anger issues? What has occurred?
it started during the pandemic a few years ago, and I noticed when I tried to have conversations with him that he didn't want to communicate about, he would just get very angry and, you know, dismiss the whole conversation.
How did it manifest itself when he would be angry?
Your Honor, there was this one time where his friend came to live with us for a few weeks, and I sat him down because it was time to pay bills.
So wait one second. This friend, are we talking about a male or a female?
It was a male.
And came to stay in your home, your
Yes.
family home?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so that I can put it in perspective, how's your home set up? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how many floors, etc.?
Okay, it was a 6-bedroom home. It was 3 floors because there was a basement. So
Yes,
the whole
ma'am. And
the
where
whole-
was this third party staying?
He was in the basement.
Okay. And so it was supposed to be sort of a little separate area. How long was this extended visit, gonna take?
He told me the friend was going to be there for a couple months.
Wow.
He wasn't supposed to be there for no couple months. It was just a couple weeks he was supposed to be there for, Your Honor. And also, it was a time where he helped me where I needed his help.
I understand.
And I stayed with him. And it's also been a time where he's helped my family as well. He's
So
helped us
you
as
were
well.
reciprocating is what you're telling me.
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
did you talk to your wife about what that was going to look like?
Yes, ma'am. I discussed with her.
Okay.
He was only there for 2 days till she asked for some rent money.
Okay.
2 days, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
I'm listening.
his friend was there for almost a week when I brought the conversation up to him.
But wait, did you bring the conversation up to the man or to your husband?
To my husband.
Okay.
I had a conversation with him that the bills are approaching. And although I'm supporting you, you know, in your mishaps, your friend is a grown man. And I told him, I said, is your friend going to be, you know, contributing to this house that he's staying in?
Okay, so who was paying the bills in the house?
Me.
Okay.
That month that I questioned him about his friend contributing to the bills was my month to take on everything because
Oh,
he
so
had-
you all do opposites. Y'all, one month you might take it, the next month he might take it?
No, Your Honor. It was that he had exhausted all of his funds to get us into the place.
Got it.
Yes. So I was supporting him and taking over things until he got his stuff together. In the midst of this, his friend came to live with us for a few weeks. Now, me, I feel as though, you know, any man that's in the house should be helping to provide.
I 100% agree.
So I had a conversation with him like, is your friend going to contribute?
I think that's a legitimate conversation to have.
There was nothing wrong with having that conversation, and I discussed with her. I explained to her, I said, listen, Give him a few weeks. Give him a few weeks, or I'm gonna take up his slack. Once I get myself together, he going through some tough times right now.
But wait a minute. I want to be clear, Mr. Harris. You had to get yourself together.
Yes.
But were you expecting her to take on the responsibility and the role of yet another grown man? I just want to be clear on what your expectation was.
I mean, I didn't look at it like that, Your Honor.
So because of this conversation that I had with him, he told me he was going to go talk to the friend. So I followed up with the conversation. In the midst of the conversation, he got so angry with me, he started a full-blown argument saying how this friend helped me when I needed him and I stayed at his girlfriend's house. I'm like, okay, this girl stay in the projects. Like, she don't pay any rent. The government helps her. Like, you know, like this is hard-earned money and we out here in this real world. So I don't want to hear how that girlfriend helped you, because this is not that situation. She's living for free.
Yes.
Okay? So he got so angry and he left the house and again, you know, disappeared, angry. And that's just another issue that I have with him. When I'm trying to communicate, you know, he just...
Mr. Harris, I think
out.
that was a legitimate conversation to have. I can guarantee it was probably not as soft and as kind as it is here in this courtroom. However, it legitimately was a conversation that should have been had.
I sat him down in a great tone and had this conversation with him. That's what pissed me off about the conversation.
But I don't understand, if you all had this conversation, why did we have to revisit it?
Why bring it up again?
2 weeks
Because
later?
now the bills are due. I want to know,
even 2 weeks later,
did you talk to your friend? You know, he got so angry, he got so angry and so loud, the friend knew that we were having this conversation. So the friend leaves out the door, he leaves behind the friend, he's gone for a few weeks.
What? And so you actually are holding down the household at that point?
Yes, ma'am.
You use language towards each other.
Yes, he called me a hoe.
Excuse me?
Yes, Your Honor. He called me a hoe in front of my friend. He called me all kinds of names in front of her.
What is her friend? She's a hoe, Your Honor.
My friend
Birds
is
of
not
a
a
feather
whore.
wet.
So you don't like this lady is what you're
I
telling
don't like
me.
that lady and I don't like the other lady. Your Honor, they whores.
Tell me a little bit about this lying. Why you say he's a liar?
With the situation with the phone, he had another phone that the kids would play games on. The kids came in and left the phone on the bed. I see notifications popping up on the phone, so I tap it. He's asking some woman, can he take her to brunch?
As if you never went to brunch with
So
a male
again,
friend.
he is a liar. He's supposed to be out of town visiting family, and he's asking some woman, can he take her to brunch?
Your Honor,
I asked him about it, and he just dismissed it again. You know, he acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. And because he wasn't presently there when I asked him, you know, he never really faced it.
I'm listening, Mr. Harris.
Your Honor, there's times where we're not seeing eye to eye, and I needed someone to vent to or talk to. She's been through these same situations and been out with
The girl tells
male
him that she
friends.
has a man.
This somebody that I knew from childhood. If she reading the texts, we went to school together.
Mr. Harris, I'm just wondering, what were your intentions in asking this lady to go to brunch?
I needed someone to talk to, someone to vent to about the situations I was going through.
And what was her response, the woman?
Her response was, I
have a man.
have a man. She got a man. She don't want to go out. She don't
And in the
feel
messages, she's told him that before. So it's
She don't
not
feel
given
comfortable.
that she is even receptive of you venting to her.
That usually means if the woman responds, I already have a man, that means she's trying to be respectful of her relationship, but she's also feeling that this is not just about her.
Exactly.
Her being a sounding board.
Exactly.
It's about you trying to step out on your relationship and to
She done
use
been
her.
there multiple times for me to talk to, Your Honor, about situations with my wife.
He's a liar, and Your Honor, he is very, very disrespectful. There was this one occasion where my friend came into town for us to go to a concert. We go to the concert, and when we leave the concert, we want to go get some food. But it's very cold, so she asks him, can he bring her coat? So and when I get outside, he asks us, like, where's the food? I'm like, the kitchen is closed. That's why we're leaving.
That's all
with
you said. The kitchen is closed.
He's asking me, like, where's his food? I didn't even get any food. The kitchen is closed. That's why we're leaving.
The effing kitchen
When
is
we get in
closed.
You
and
all
I'm
don't
like,
know how
what?
to talk to each other. I could just see that. That's what it is. Y'all don't know how to talk to each other. You use language towards each other.
Yes, he
that's
called me a
unkind.
hoe.
Excuse me?
Yes, Your Honor. He called me a hoe in front of my friend. He called me all kinds of names in front of her. And when we got home, it just continued all throughout the night. It was already about 2, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Mr. Harris, come on, what's this
Woke the
about?
kids
Your Honor,
up.
ask her, what is her friend? She's a hoe, Your Honor.
My friend
Birds
is
of
not
a
a
feather
whore.
wet. Flock together.
That has nothing to do with it.
Excuse me, are you trying to suggest that the friend that she was hanging out with is literally a prostitute?
I'm not saying she's a prostitute because I know what she do with her body, but I know from the conversations on the phone.
So you don't like this lady is what you're
I don't
telling
like
me.
that lady and I don't like the other lady. Your Honor, they whores. What you hanging around a whore for? Then your excuse is, what they do ain't got nothing to do with me.
Absolutely. Like, I like her as a friend.
I'm sorry. You hang around with somebody who doesn't have a home and needs you to be their backup. So
Absolutely.
birds of a feather flock together. I'm just wondering why the two of you can't figure out how to be
because
nice
he's
to
so
each other.
disrespectful. This man called me a in front of my daughter. Like, he's disrespectful. You can't communicate
No,
with
Your
him.
Honor, I said you acting like
But
I didn't call her a
He is lying. He calls me all kinds of names. He's very disrespectful. That night,
Mr. Harris,
yelling-
why would you call the woman you say you've been with for 18 years out of her name, especially in front of daughters?
Your Honor, my daughter wasn't even right there. It was me and her talking.
Your Honor, I'll tell you why. Antonio got very upset because, you know, his disrespect and his anger issues
She
lead
won't
to...
have sex with me for 3 months.
Absolutely. It leads to me not wanting him to touch me. So, of course, he gets angrier.
I got a witness. Her friend would tell you how good of a man I am.
Tell me what you've witnessed in their marriage.
Antonio is a great man. He works. He's hardworking. So,
Come on,
yeah.
Your Honor, I can't be that bad of a guy.
If she thinks he's such a good man, maybe she should take him. He gets very angry and he starts rambling through the house, you know, trying to get all of his stuff that you probably don't even want. He just wants to tear the house up. So I start recording him. He comes towards me to knock the phone out of my hand and he's calling me names. That's when he called me the in front of my daughter.
So
Him say
here's the
that.
problem. I hate the fact that all of this is happening in front of a teenage girl. I really do. Because how old is your daughter?
She's 10.
A tweenage girl. She's 10. So right now, she's forming her opinion of how she as a young woman is supposed to be treated, and she's forming her opinion on how a partner will be allowed to treat her. That is
Absolutely,
what's
Your Honor.
happening right now.
Your Honor, I got a witness. Her friend would tell you how good of a man I am.
There is a witness. The defendant has asked me to hear from this witness. I'd like to hear from the witness. Will you please ask the witness to join us?
Sure.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome to divorce court. Can you please tell me your name and what your relationship is to the plaintiff and the defendant?
My name is Andrea Dalmeida. I have known Latrice for some years, and I met Antonio through Latrice.
Miss Little was your friend first, am I correct?
That is correct.
And the two of them have become your mutual friend, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you married?
I'm in a very complicated situation.
You're not married. Okay. You're not married. Okay.
No.
So tell me what you've witnessed in their marriage.
I will start off by saying Antonio is a great man. Okay.
Based on?
Based on, he's a really good father.
Based on?
He's really involved with the kids. He sits home and babysits while we go out.
Tuh.
Keep going.
These kids are old enough to watch
Hold on,
themselves.
let her go. Keep going.
He does buy her really nice things. He takes her out frequently. And he works. He's hardworking. So,
Come on,
yeah.
Your Honor, I can't be that bad of a guy.
If she thinks he's such a good man, maybe she should take him.
No, I got my own. I don't want him. He's yours.
That's what, you hear the answer? You hear the answer?
Yeah, because honestly, I have to say something that I learned a while ago from my auntie in the Bahamas. Loose goat don't know how tied goat feel. It just means when you're not in the marriage, you don't know what's going on in the
I've
actual
been married
marriage.
Absolutely.
before.
No, I'm talking about their marriage. You started out by, when you introduced yourself, saying you're in a, quote, complicated situation, because
Yeah.
I don't know what's in your relationship any more than you know what happens in their actual relationship.
Right.
You see what I mean? So I turn to, in this relationship, that's why I asked you what you had witnessed, what you had seen when you say somebody is a good man. I'm talking about character. What have you witnessed in terms of Mr. Harris's character that would lead you to believe that?
Okay, well, I would say Mr. Harris is really misunderstood. I am from an African background. And I would say communication really plays a major role in their relationship. I believe both parties need to work on communication.
I believe she should mind her business.
Well, you put me in your business, so I can't mind my business.
So are you suggesting that the plaintiff has shared things with you?
About how he makes me feel.
Of
Like you
course.
said, his character and how he makes me feel. I don't like the way he makes me feel. It's like an up and down, you know, emotionally with him.
I've been in situations with them that both parties were not very nice to each other.
I've been in situations with them where both parties are not very nice to each other. And I've known them 20 minutes. I can tell you right now that kindness needs to come back into this relationship.
That is true.
100%. I can tell you right now that they need to learn communication skills.
I agree. Like I said, I believe that both people can be up here. Somebody has to be down here.
And normally it's me. And I thought the quote was, you know, happy wife, happy life. Why am I always walking on eggshells so that he doesn't snap out?
But as a woman, I feel like there are ways to communicate with a man. You have to listen. You can't fight fire with fire.
Not for nothing, Miss Dalmeda, you got some pretty old-fashioned ideas of what role a woman takes. In a marriage, it's a partnership.
It is.
Always a partnership.
Of course.
And only the two people that are in the marriage can figure out what works in their marriage. There's some marriages where the woman takes the more dominant role. There's some marriages where man takes the more dominant role. There's some marriages where they take equal roles. All of those are valid relationships when they're between the two people that are in them. Thank you for your assistance today.
Thank you.
I don't want to be dismissive of anybody's opinion. The only opinion that really matters about this relationship is the two of you. And the only thing that's going to solve the conflicts is if the two of you put the work in, period. You have to first learn to speak to each other. And not speak to a third party. Lottie-dottie and everybody doesn't need to be in your business. There are people who get paid to be in your business. They are called family therapists, and they are good at what they do. They really are good at what they do. And they don't come from a cultural bias. They come from a solution-oriented, therapeutic perspective. They want to make sure that relationships are healthy so that you could be living examples for your children. That is really what family therapy is about. I asked you earlier, would you be committed to making an effort?
Your Honor, I am done. I don't want to put the work in because I feel like I put years of work in. And Antonio have showed me time after time that he is going to continue to be who he is.
Mr. Harris, at some point, relationships run their course. And I know you said you wanted to fight for your family.
Yes, ma'am.
But you can only disappoint a woman so many times. And then that woman says, enough is enough. And that's what I just heard. Am I correct, Miss Little?
Yes, Your Honor. I just feel as though I'm losing my belief, you know, that he can become a better person because every time I give him another chance, he just shows me that this is who he is. And he blames it on how he was brought up, you know, his family and things that he went through. And it's like, I don't want to keep hearing that.
What would you need to hear to give it another chance?
I don't want to hear anything. I think that he should just get some help, you know? If we didn't work, I still believe that he should get some help so that he can become a better, you know, father to his children, a better man for himself,
It sounds
and
like
a better man for somebody else.
This young lady just said to me, there is nothing that you can say or do to get back in her good graces. If that is true, then it's time for somebody to put their pictures and their plants in a box and keep it moving. That's my verdict.